Brother, you have a problem, and I know you do. Here's why. You clicked on this video, you read the title, why do you only attract ugly bitches? Guys have this problem where they only attract ugly girls, fat girls, all the girls that they don't want, and they wonder, why am I only attracting these girls that I don't want, but I can't get any of the girls that I do want? Partly this is because they are too afraid to initiate, they are scared of women, they pedestalize women, so they never actually are the ones that take the initiative. They are so scared of rejection that they will never approach women, they will never show any interest in women, and they will just let it all come to them. This is not a good strategy, and you'll figure out why this is later in the video. They wait a while, they wait for women to come to them. Years and years go by, maybe one girl, one fat bitch hits on them a year. One ugly girl hits on them every so often. And they think, well, if I'm only attracting ugly girls, does that mean that I'm ugly? Shouldn't that mean that we're on the same level if I'm only attracting these girls that I'm not attracted to? Is this what I'm stuck with for the rest of my life? These unattractive, low-tier women? You are probably more attractive than the girls that are hitting on you. And I have 3 reasons for it. And make sure you stay until the end of the video because the 3rd reason is probably the most relevant and the most important to your life. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first reason that you only attract ugly bitches is that women go for their perceived best option. And look, men do too, but it's a little different in the terms of intersexual dynamics. Let's assume for the sake of the video that you're a 6 out of 10, right around the average. Average is 5.5, you're 6, you're just slightly above average. Maybe you're higher or lower than that in real life, but you can just scale these numbers down and up and it's the same. Now, you would assume that being a 6 out of 10 on attractiveness, you are going to be attracting the women that are also 6 out of 10 attractiveness. Like people will match the same level. But this usually isn't the case, and the reason for this has to do with intersexual dynamics. Women are more able to acquire sexual relationships from guys that are slightly higher than them on their attractiveness scale because men are less picky. Women are the gatekeepers of sex, and men are the ones that have to go through the gates, so they are much less picky with their sexual partners. But women are very different. Being the sexual selectors, the gatekeepers of sex, they are much more picky with whom they have sex with, so they are trying to target only the guys that are higher attractiveness than them. So these women that are about the same attractiveness level as you, the 6 out of 10s, they're not going to be going for 6 out of 10 guys the majority of the time. They're going to be going for 7s and maybe 8s, the occasional 9. They're not going to be going for the 6 out of 10s because they know that they can acquire the 6 out of 10s. The 7 out of 10s and the 8 out of 10s, those are challenges and those are more valuable and rewarding to them. What this means is that women tend to pursue men that are slightly higher in attractiveness than them. The 6 out of 10 men like yourself are going to be attracting maybe the 3s, the 4s, and the occasional 5s, while the 8 and 9 out of 10 super attractive guys are going to be attracting mainly 6s and 7s. This is just how intersexual dynamics works. Here's the thing, if you are a 6 out of 10 attractiveness male and you want to date a 6 out of 10 attractiveness female, you are going to have to be the one that is the pursuant because the 6 out of 10s are not going for the 6 out of 10 guys. They're going for the 7s and 8s. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't attract or get into a relationship with a 6 out of 10. It just means that it's on you to pursue the woman and to initiate that relationship. As a 6 out of 10 man, if you want to attract women that are 7s or maybe even 8s, 9s, not only are you going to have to be the pursuant and initiate the relationship, but you are also going to have a decent amount of game and skill with attracting women. You're going to have to be good at using behavior to hit their attraction switches, and you might have to have a little bit of status or social network for them to be attracted to you as a man that's slightly lower in attractiveness. So essentially there's a selection bias. As a 6 out of 10 man, it's not that you can't attract or aren't attracting the 6 out of 10 women. It's that the 6 out of 10 women are going for guys that are higher in attractiveness than you. So the only women that are actively pursuing you are the lower attractiveness, ugly bitches like the 4s, the 5s, maybe even the 3s, And likely you're not going to be hit on by girls that have extreme attractiveness differences like the 1s and the 2s if you're a 6, because those women know that they're not going to be able to get a relationship out of you. So relationships between individuals who have giant gaps in their attractiveness are not likely to happen because they know that they're not going to work out. The second reason why you only attract ugly bitches is that you fail to recognize the more subtle attraction signals and cues that come from the more attractive women. What this means is that the uglier girls, the fat girls who are lower in attractiveness than you, they are going to be more obvious with their attraction signaling and cues. They're going to pursue you harder, and it's going to be more obvious to you that they are attracted to you. While the more attractive women, they're not going to be as obvious with their attraction signals, with their cues, because they are not as desperate to attract you. The ugly girls know that they're going to have to put in a lot of effort to generate a relationship between you guys, whereas the women that are on your level or more attractive know that they can acquire other men who are about on your level of attractiveness. So they will not show their attraction as strongly. They'll be more subtle. They will do these tiny little hints that you won't pick up on because you're socially retarded. And this is your problem. But there's a chance that these 6s or 7s or 8s are attracted to you, but they're just giving you more subtle cues. And because you aren't fully socially calibrated, you haven't spent enough time around women, you fail to pick up these signals and you assume that they're not attracted to you because you don't recognize the signals. All right, guys, number 3, and by far the most important reason why you only attract ugly bitches, is that you change the way you interact with women based on their attractiveness. The way you interact with an ugly girl is way different than the way you interact with a hot girl. And this all has to do with your own mindset and your own mental attitude towards hot women. Most men have been conditioned and have this subtle belief in the back of their mind that women are more valuable than men. They believe that women deserve to be pedestalized, that they are these creatures of beauty, and this is their ultimate problem with not being able to attract hotter women. This mental attitude towards women where you pedestalize them automatically forces them to behave in ways where they are not attractive to hot women. Let's be honest, bro. You are intimidated by more attractive women, and they can just sense this out of you. Women are way more socially calibrated on average than men, and they were designed to be this way, so they can just sense the insecurity in you. They pick up on these tiny little signals that you give off that you don't even realize you're giving off because they're fully subconscious. They pick these up, and it causes them to lose attraction for you because it shows that they are higher in status than you are. When you interact with ugly bitches, you naturally act in a way that is more attractive. You show them less attention, you demonstrate that you're not needy, you kind of ignore them and talk to them only when you want to. And the ways that you act with uglier women are the ways that you should act with all women, because this is how you attract them. You don't pedestalize them, you think of them just as a human being, and you treat them just as a regular person. When you ignore women, when you play these games, you do push-pull, you tease them, you don't treat them like they're a princess, then that attracts them because it signals to them that subconsciously you believe yourself to be more valuable than them, and that's a good thing. Since you pedestalize these women and have this mindset where they're more important than you, when you have this attitude, it's not going to lead to attractive behaviors to women. It's going to put you in a position where they feel like the superior to you, and that does not lead to attraction. A woman needs to respect you to be attracted to you, and this can't happen if she perceives herself to be higher in value than you. So the way that you attract hotter women is to treat all women the way that you usually treat the ugly girls. You tease them, you ignore them every once in a while, you don't treat them like they're a queen. But be careful, because some guys take this message and they assume, oh, I'll just ignore all women, I'll just treat them all like shit, and then they'll all be attracted to me. But you have to be careful with this, because with girls that are higher in attractiveness than you or about the same level, you do have to be the pursuant, you have to initiate, because they're not going to be the ones to do it. You have to be the one to initiate the communication at first, and you have to establish some certain level of interest or baseline attractiveness, and then from there, you need to stop being needy and you need to follow all these rules and treat them like they're ugly. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe!